All right, cool. We've
Cool.
done so many of these. I believe this is episode 6 now of the Circlecast, and our guest today is Spider from the band Vomit Dolls. Spider, do you want to introduce yourself?
I'm Spider. It's nice to be on here and talking to you about this. I really don't know how else to introduce myself. I'm the front person of Vomit Dolls. Yeah.
And who are we missing from Vomit Dolls today?
Today we're missing Mud, Serena, and Owen. Mud is currently getting ready to play a gig at this place called the Nook with their other band Silent Spring. Which, if people don't know about that band, I would very much recommend it to them. They're
Shout out Silent Spring.
they're a very good band, and we have not yet gotten to play with them yet, but I would very much like to. They're they're a very good band. I don't know like really what to say about them besides like if you're on the North Shore of Massachusetts, you should know about them. Everyone else is I think at work right now or just dealing with things in their own life. So unfortunately they're not here, but I can answer the questions as best as I can.
I guess my first question is where did the name Vomit Dolls come from?
Oh, this is one of my favorite things to explain to people and like tell them about. So for the people that aren't familiar, there's a director called Lucifer Valentine. He directed a series of I guess snuff porn films called A Slaughtered Vomit Doll. And I found that movie when I was about 14 and I was getting like really into found footage films. So I took the name from that and I was like, all right, well I can make a really cool band out of this. I don't recommend watching that movie. That movie is terrifying and it will make you very uncomfortable.
Go down
Um
the wormhole of the internet.
yeah, I was getting wicked into like a Serbian film, a Green Inferno, stuff like that.
Oh, I did see Green Inferno. That's the Cannibal Holocaust movie, right?
Yeah.
I did see that.
I like I was just exposed to it like a really young age and it like stuck with me. And I was like, all right, well I can make something cool out of this.
My next thing I got here is I wanted to congratulate you guys for your Spotify rap. We saw you got almost 10,000 streams, spanning across almost 1,500 listeners. That's awesome, and I wanted to just congratulate you guys on that.
Yeah, thank you so much, man. As of like last night, we randomly got added to a playlist on Spotify. We went from 185 monthly listeners to 903.
It's fucking
It,
insane.
we have no idea who put us on the playlist. One of our songs went from like 1,800 plays to 2,700 overnight. It was like I remember calling Mud and freaking out because it was like we'd never seen that high of a number on our Spotify before. It was a surreal kind of thing to see.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. That's so cool.
It really is. Thank you, man. Like it means a lot to like hear people like congratulate us on something like that.
Yeah, because when I see these numbers, I'm like, damn, that's so cool. Because I do my own music and stuff, and I got like I don't know like 28,000 streams, but that was from across the last 3 years across three bands.
See,
So
that's still a huge accomplishment. Like it's still like I feel like something that like my friends remind me all the time is it's not about the numbers, it's about the journey of getting there. And I know that as corny as that sounds, it's like people may not find you yet, but you're putting in the quality of work into it, and you can find so much success within yourself for knowing you put out the best music you could. So I want to say congratulations to you, man. That's a big accomplishment. Even over 3 bands in 3 years, that's still huge.
I really do appreciate that. And those are some real that was really awesome what you said there. That's fucking sick.
I try to be very like I say that as if I don't like stalk my band's numbers all the time because like I still struggle with feeling like I'm not a successful musician if my numbers aren't there. So I have to like remind myself that it's not about that. It's about putting out quality and the connections I make with people through the music.
Exactly. The first like kind of deep dive I want to go into that I found that I couldn't actually find was the 420 demo released on 2022. Couldn't
Oh,
find it anywhere, but it says that it dropped.
Oh my god, that's a deep cut there. Wow. Um, Funny thing about that is the room that I'm sitting in right now doing this interview is the same room that me and Mud recorded that together, which it is out there. I'm not going to tell you where, but it is out there for you to find somehow.
Oh, I'll fucking find it then.
So that's like kind of like a long story. That was the first time me and Mud had ever met each other because we knew each other from the internet, like just talking for like a year or so. One day I was bored and I was like, well, I'm still in high school. I have a 3-day weekend. Why don't you just come over? We can jam together. One thing led to another. We just recorded bass and guitar and vocals. We didn't have a drum. We didn't program drums. It was just bass, guitar, and vocals. That was it. The 420 demo is out. It was just, we recorded it with a terrible mic in my school laptop that they'd given me that I had bootlegged some like cheap recording software onto. Wow, I haven't heard that in so long.
I'm gonna definitely go and try to find it. Don't erase
I
it.
No, I don't even think we have access to like where we put it up anymore.
Oh, so it's permanent.
Yeah, it's permanently up there, and like I still like I'm like embarrassed of it because we were like we started this band when I was 16, almost 17. I'm now 19. Mud was I think 16 or 17 when we recorded that, and we've come so far as musicians that it's kind of like embarrassing to look back on it.
Right. I know what you mean. I got a plethora of demos that I'd rather not let anyone see. They're up there, but I'd rather not just put them out there.
Yeah, yeah, we all have those.
Yep.
Oh
It's where we
man.
come from. It's where we start.
Yeah, absolutely. We all start somewhere and then we develop and make better music.
So aside from that demo, you also have two EPs. The first one was released on August 29th of 2022 called Basement Punk's Philosophy. What was that
That
like?
was that was a really fun one. Our friend Mark of music and I can't remember what other bands they're in. I think they're in a new band called A Bay of Pigs. Mark recorded that at Upside Records for us and played drums. That was a really fun one. That was like it was the first time we'd ever professionally recorded anything. We we kind of rushed that one a little bit because we were going to play a gig right after the last Blight night actually at the Hotel Vernon in Worcester. So it was like a little bit rushed, but it was definitely like a really fun experience for that.
Yeah, I like that. I like that one. That's the one with PCP Blackout, right?
That's a really fun song.
That's probably my favorite Vomit Dolls song. That and Sex Dolls.
That's a really good one. I can't say the meaning of PCP Blackout online because out of respect for who it was wrote about. It is a member of the band, but I can't say who. But if you ever come out to one of our shows, you'll probably hear me say who the song is dedicated to.
Okay.
It's something we tried to not public like we'll say it out at like shows and stuff, but it's a fun one. That was like I'm sorry if I'm just talking so much. It's the
No, no,
last part of that
no, we
song.
love it.
The last part of that song is actually a Suicidal Tendencies riff. He says, "Oh well, I'm just gonna get hit by I think a car anyways, so I just changed it because at the time like, and I still do now. I walk the train tracks like everywhere to like get to the gas station, go to like one of my favorite abandoned buildings. So I was like, oh well, I like that part. I don't want to rip him completely. Let me just change it to fit me. Say, oh well, I'm just gonna get hit by a train anyways." And like Sex Doll, like it's really cool that you say Sex Doll is one of your favorites because like we wrote that and we got like really sick of it really quick. Like we liked it, but like it had such like a weird meaning to me that I just couldn't keep playing it. Like it was good for when we wrote it because it helped me get through something that I was going through, but I just couldn't keep reminding myself of what I was trying to get through.
Yeah, I hear that. I hear that. I've wrote songs in the past that it's hard for me to listen to now just because of I know the place I was in when I wrote it, and yeah, I don't want to think about that no more.
Yeah, absolutely. Like it's good to get out your emotions and like express them through music because it can be like far more therapeutic than just like actually talking about it. Because like you can just go up on stage, express everything you feel in front of people, and they have no idea what you could be experiencing. But now it's not just a thought in your head or a feeling in your heart. It's something that's out there and that can be shared with other people, whether they understand it or not.
And then your second EP was released this year, March 18th, standard issue Bodybag.
That was a really fun one. We started getting into like a different direction. We added a breakdown in one of the songs, which is still one of my favorite ones to play. That one, the breakdowns in Blood In, Blood Out, which I think not a lot of people know outside of the band that I'm a giant movie buff. Like I love movies. I'm the one that's finding all the samples for like the songs. So I'll just like watch movies or like shows or something and find something that like I feel like will fit. That one had so many samples on it because like I was just going ham. Blood In, Blood Out is it's a movie. It's I think it's from the 90s or the 80s. I highly recommend it to anyone who has like time to sit down for like 3 hours. Watch it. I believe it's still free on YouTube, bootlegged. Very good one. Um, we sampled Fight Club in one of the songs. We sampled I want to say Bush in Pipe Bomb Dreaming. Something about him saying like how he'd rather see his daughters die than grow up under communism. And I felt like that fit the song because the whole song was saying fuck you to Nazis and fascists and people in political authority that take advantage of people. So we figured, well, we may as well use his own words against him in a sense. But yeah, that was a fun one to record. We're currently trying to we're in the process of writing like a promo or a new demo right now.
Yeah, I have that as a note in here. I wanted to discuss that one in a little bit. Um the second standard issue Bodybag, was that recorded at Upside too?
That was recorded at our friend's place called the Incu Factory.
Another deep dive here I got is possibly the first Vomit Dolls merch. It was the white hand painted with help shirts.
Yes, that was released through us. We painted those in my basement actually. Then there was a set of screen printed shirts that we made through the help of an ex partner of mine. Damn, you really did find all the deep cuts. Holy.
Yeah, there was I know the other set of shirts you're talking about. I can't remember what it said on it. I forgot to take a note on it, but it was that second round of shirts. I don't know how many shirts you guys put out, but there's another set of shirts on your page that I saw. I can't fucking remember what it said.
I can't. We've released a decent amount of shirts. We tried to never reprint the same design twice. So there's always been like a lot of them out there.
I think it's the first Vomit Doll show on May 28th, 2022.
Yes. Yeah, that was at Distant Castles. That was we used to play there like a lot when we first started out. Our record, like our first record release was at that punk house. Which funny thing you bring that up, that like that lineup for that show was so much fun. We didn't actually get to finish the show that at that venue. We had to move it to a jam space after. Because unfortunately someone got hurt really bad outside of the venue, and per the venue's wishes, they didn't want to keep the show going. So we moved it to a jam space a little bit down the street and wrapped it up there. The person who got hurt ended up being like perfectly fine. It's just like it kind of just shook everyone up a little bit, and the cops ended up getting called, so they didn't want to risk getting any like them like involved in the house. It's We've played so many gigs since that last show that it's wild to me now. That like we started there with such like a good lineup and so many good friends back there. Like a very special shout out to Wichita Hangman, who are unfortunately not a band anymore, but they will always hold like a very special place in my heart for being one of like the first bands I ever like remember going to see and like getting kind of close with when I first got into the scene.
Yeah, shout out Wichita Hangman.
Yeah, they
Um,
were a fun band.
so how did you guys like start doing shows?
Um, we recorded the 420 demo, and then we're kind of like, all right, well, if we don't start playing shows now, we never will. So we rushed it way too much. We released the demo, and then we're like, all right, let's just book a show. And we didn't have like enough songs to play a set. We didn't have like anything. So Mud showed me one of like the first set lists of from that show. We had like a section called random shit where we kind of just played noise because at the time I was bass and vocals in the band, so I just cranked one of my pedals up, was like strumming it with no real chord pattern or anything, and then we covered "Song 2" by Blur. And we also didn't even have a drummer at the time. We had a friend of ours fill in for us. So we got up there. We had no real plan. We had no real idea of what we were doing. We just knew we needed to do it. And then we kind of just went from there. Mud sleeping on my couch in my room, sitting there jamming with me and writing stuff together. And it worked. I think like shortly after we like booked a small tour across New
That
England.
that's so funny that you said that because that was literally my next point here was the Tour de Puke.
Oh, that was such a fun one. Oh God, we that tour was funded by $300 in a dream, in a goddamn dream.
4 shows, 3 states.
Yep, we dude, that was the first show I believe on that tour was Ape Land in Holyoke. When Ape Land was still around, that was like such a fun place to be. We got there, we were the first band there. Adam Ape, the guy who ran the space, showed up and he was like, all right, if you guys want to like help me like clear out the space, like we can like start getting everything set up. So we're in there just like with a big broom brushing up beer bottles, caps, and cans and everything. And then we're just moving a couch into the hallway. And he just turns around and kind of tells us, he's like, all right, guys, we're ready. All right. He ended up filling in for drums on us that night because we went on tour with no drummer. Just me and Mud and a different kid playing drums every night.
That is hysterical.
Dude, we had no real plan. We just knew again, like we needed to do it. And like,
Yeah.
I don't know, that's always been like the Vomital's kind of way is like just have a plan to an extent, but just kind of do it and see what happens. We're the
Um,
most professional and unprofessional band you'll ever find.
my next point here is September 25th, 2023. It was announced on the page, new music in the works, either late this year or early next year. Plus
Okay.
an announcement, a special announcement, next month, which next month being October 22nd, that announcement was that you were back on vocals.
Yes. Yes. I The new music is in the works. There's 3 songs that we have riffs for and lyrics for. We just haven't sat down to record them because we have something special work in the works for April. So we've been kind of like a lot of our focus has been on that, and also recently announcing the Benefit for Palestine show, which we just announced. A lot of our focus was on that. And the special announcement of me coming back to the band, I left the band for a little while to, in a way, like focus on myself. I was in college for a little bit, and I had moved to Billerica for a little while, and I was living up there. So I didn't really have like the time to be in the band. So Mud took over vocals for me, and then I was starting to realize, hey, college isn't working out for me. I'm not happy not playing in a band. I'm not happy like doing this. So I asked Mud, I was like, hey, can I come back into the band? And Mud was like, yeah, I'm more than happy to have, I'm more than happy to have you back. So it was like really just nice to just come back. And when I came back, there was like a new lineup of everyone in the band. Our current drummer Owen and our bass player Serena. And I think it was like my first time meeting them and like playing a gig with them. And I realized like, shit, these guys are wicked cool. And I'm like very excited to be like playing shows and getting closer with them. They've now kind of become like family to me.
My next notes here are you got from what I've seen 3 shows coming up. The first one being at Sammy's Patio,
Mm-hmm.
December 16th.
Mm-hmm.
P&I Club on December 22nd, and then the biggest one being the Palestine Benefit Show on January 6th of the new year, 2024 at Clown Alley.
Yep. Um, those are just going to be some really fun ones. I'm very excited for the ones we're playing with Burt Bacharach because I absolutely love Burt Bacharach, and they share some members of one of me and Mud's favorite bands, Anal Cunt. They getting to play with some like those guys is like really exciting to me because I've been listening to AC since I was like 14, and like I remember like finding them like when I just started high school, and I was like, this is awesome, dude. And now I'm playing with them. It just like it feels like a childlike dream coming true.
Burt Bacharach has members of Anal Cunt?
It does. It does.
I had no fucking clue. That is so sick. I follow them too, and I had no idea.
Yeah, it's like it's wicked cool to be playing with them. They're really nice guys. They're very supportive and like very kind people. I have nothing but good things to say about them.
That's fucking awesome.
Like everyone we're playing with in these last 3 shows are all like really good people. They're all like, I can't name all the bands, but if anyone follows us, please go check those bands out. They're support local music. Go to these shows. Go find a show to go to. There's so many good bands out in your scene that you will find and you will love.
100%.
Yeah, the Benefit for Palestine show has been something that like we've been like kind of talking about for a while, and like it was really cool to see it come together. Like a very special thank you to like Emerson, who like lives at Clown Alley, for like helping us set it up and letting us use their basement to throw this. Because like we all stand firmly with Palestine and against the genocide of Palestinian people. So we wanted to put a show together to show our support.
My next one is what's your favorite song to play, and what's in your opinion the hardest song to play when you're playing live?
It's a tie between 2. Total Crust Violence and Blood In Blood Out are my 2 favorites. Like Total Crust Violence was one of like my favorite songs to write. Like not only because like it's just fun. It's about being a crust punk. It's about drinking, fighting, and being sad. Blood In's another fun one just because like I love getting up there and talking shit before the breakdown. And like or like just like being able to put the mic down and go like crowd kill and then come back up there, finish the song out, and like apologize if I kicked anyone too hard, which I did at a show because my friend was like really close to me during like the end of the song, so I kind of just like kicked him because I was having a moment. It was like people are too close to me. People are too close to me. So I just kicked him. But the hardest one to play. Oh, my cat's here.
Shout out.
Shout out my cat. The hardest song I think to play is like I don't know. Like I wish like Mud or someone was here to like explain that because they like Mud plays guitar but like it's also like Mud's been playing these songs for like 2 years now, so I don't know if it's
Well,
like very hard to them anymore.
so I guess in your sense, like what song would be like more vocally demanding?
Oh, Pipe Bomb Dreaming, when we still played it, because it was such a long song. And I smoke a lot of cigarettes like all the time. I have like so my lungs are like really fucked up. That's why our songs are kind of shorter. Because like if I have to keep going for so long, I'm like afraid I'm gonna puke on stage. And as funny as it sounds, it's not something I want to be cleaning up.
Right.
That song's like about a minute 30, and like it's a lot of like it's very fast paced for those minute 30. But some of our newer stuff is a little bit longer, which I think the longest one is about like 3 minutes, which would be like I think a record for like the longest Vomit Doll song.
It's like a normal song.
Yeah, it's a normal song. Like if I had my way, all of our songs would be like 40 seconds to a minute and a half.
That's so funny.
Oh, oh yeah. I don't I don't know if everyone else can see, but this is my cat.
What's your cat's name?
Her name's Bella.
Shout out to Bella.
She's an old lady now. I've had her since I was like 7.
Oh wow.
Yeah, dude. I'm like, I don't know. I haven't seen her a lot because she kind of just like doesn't like people anymore. So she just when she does hang out, I love hanging out with her.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. I just get excited about my cat.
No, I love animals. I love animals more than people. I swear.
Dude, that's so funny you said that. I have a patch on my crust pants of fuck is an Ed Gein says eat humans, not animals.
Yes. Yeah. That's fire.
Um yeah.
My next one here is another one is, do you have a favorite show that you've done?
Oh, that's an easy one. We recently played Baltimore for the first time. That was one of the coolest shows I've ever done in my life. We drove straight through from like 8 in the morning to like the 8 or 9 hours down to Baltimore to go open up for Final Dose from the UK. Um, who else played that show? I can't. Final Dose. Um, I don't know, but we drove straight through down there to like open up for these bands, and it was such a fun time. We played this punk house down there. They had rules of like you can't take pictures or film in the venue. So like in that aspect, it's unfortunate that we can like never really look back on that show, but it made it so much more special to
Yeah.
just be there in the moment and play that. That was
Wow.
really
8 or 9 hours.
yeah, that was a long drive, and then we got up the next morning and did the drive back home to Massachusetts.
Do you have a favorite venue to play at?
Favorite venue. Um,
It could be DIY, anything.
I really like a lot of like the punk houses we played. Like, I like the one in Baltimore. That was a really fun one. Distant Castle will always like hold a very very special place to me. It's my favorite place to play because like I played like 4 or 5 gigs there, and it was like my favorite place to go when I was like in high school. Like I would like that's what kind of like why I would try and book there a lot is like it felt like my like place to go. Like
Yeah.
I would book all my friends on the same bill all the time to the point like people stopped coming out because they're like, oh shit, they're playing Distant Castles again. It's like, all right, well, I just kind of wanted to get my friends together and like that was my favorite place to be. Would love to go
That's
back there
sick.
and play again. Yeah.
So this next one I got, people usually give me multiple answers, so feel free to. But I
Okay.
am looking for like your number one. What is your favorite band or artist from New England?
Oh, that's hard. I was thinking about this earlier. Like, what are the bands that are like my favorites? All right, I can give you a couple. I'm like a really big Buried Dreams fan. I shout out Austin and his other bands, Haywire, CMI, Yellow Stitches. Every band Austin plays in is great. So like I kind of just put them all together as like Austin's bands. Those are some of my favorite. Um, New England shit. Wichita, fucking Film and Gender's a really fun one. Which again, like I said earlier, keep your eye out for April. There will be something very cool to see between our two bands. I don't know, like that's hard because like I don't want to sound cheesy or corny or anything, but there's like so many different aspects of all like the really good music that's coming out of New England that I can't just sit here and be like, oh, I love this band over this, because like I've been around for like 3 years and like I know a lot of people that play a lot of music, and it's like all the bands are great in their own like regards. But like Wichita is like another one that I really want to say shout out to. I'm trying to think. Um I don't know, like I'm blanking, which sucks.
No, it's cool. It's cool. I love asking people this question because I always get different answers from everyone.
Yeah,
Nobody's really giving me the same answer, really.
yeah, because it's a good question. It's like because like if you go to like Central Mass, there's some really cool bands out of Central Mass. You go to Western Mass, there's really good bands out of there. You go to Boston, there's like a mecca of like different styles of bands. And like I don't know, like before we were doing this interview, I was listening to David Allan Coe. Like I was listening to country. Like I listen to so much music all the time that I can't put one above the other.
That's fair.
It's like also me telling people I listen to country surprises them, but until like I'm from the woods, like I live in like the like deep woods. So like it was never too far out for me to be listening to country or like anything like that.
So my last one here is there anything that you want to add on? Anything you want to plug? Anything?
Um that's a big one I gotta think about. Um Go to shows, start a band, make friends, book shows, drive a van, sell merch, do something to support your local scene, because without you, your local scene is going to die. And strive to puke every time. That's something I live by. And I think that's something every crust punk and every punk should live by. Strive to puke every goddamn time. If you ain't going hard enough that you feel like you're going to puke after, you're not doing it right. And like this corner is going to sound, be kind to yourself, be kind to others, and look out for each other. Because at the end of the day, the scene is what we have, and the scene will only continue if we continue it ourselves.
Fuck yeah.
I I've been trying to be more positive and less angry within like my like on stage and off stage. I've been trying to be more of a peaceful person. I just want to say thank you again to you for having me on and giving me a place to talk and say all this stuff. I hope I like gave some good answers and like at least some of it was coherent.
I definitely appreciate you taking the time to be interviewed and answering all the questions and going deep into the lore of Vomit Dolls and yourself and all that. So
Yeah, this was like
thank
really
you.
fun. Shout out to you, man. If you want like after this, if you want to send me a link to some of your bands, I would love to listen to them and check them out.
Thank you. I definitely will.
All right, thank you, man. I hope you have a
Um,
wonderful day.
yeah, you too. Thank you.